Hey everybody. So this is going to be another fairly straightforward and simple pattern and project. I'm sure you're probably looking at these, and if you're familiar with my patterns, you recognize these as the sword frogs or sword harnesses patterns that I also sell. And if you're interested in that, I'll put a link up in one of the corners here so you can see that. And also so you can follow that tutorial if necessary. It's a little more detailed than what I'm going to get into right now. And because of that, you go check out that video. So for just a quick rundown of this part, and there's two sizes. There's the smaller sword frog, and then there's the larger one. Basically what this is the pattern is folded. So you print off the pattern, you cut it out, you fold it in half, and then there's stitching lines to sew it together. And then this piece here with the D-ring gets sandwiched over the top. So on the top and on the back, it gets sewn as part of this. So as you come up, you're going to put this together, sew it, and then come down. Or conversely, if you don't want to do that, you can just sew this piece, and then sew this after, just as long as you're not like doubling up the sewing, the thread on this piece. And then there's some rivets. So there's 3 rivets there. This is a 1-inch D-ring. This is a 1/4 inch grommet. And depending on the thickness of your leather, you might need to get a longer post, like this right here. This leather is fairly thick, and so I had to use a grommet that had a longer post. Something to be aware of that I did not know about when I initially did these. So longer post rivet or grommets are a thing, and look for those. I find them on Amazon. So yeah, once you're done with this part, here's also another example. Once you're done sewing this together, and the rivets and the grommet, you're going to have these straps with just a buckle, 1-inch buckle, riveted, and some holes here for that. Here's another example that I'm going to be doing. And you're just going to be basically, just putting the buckle in. I actually need to clean that one up a little bit. Putting the buckle in, 1-inch buckle, like I said, grommeting it down, and then you're gonna run these through those holes, and run it through the buckle. What's nice about this is if you leave it fairly loose, there's plenty of room here for the smaller size versus a larger size sword, and I'm talking practice swords or scabbards. Because this is for cosplay or costumes, so not necessarily historically accurate. That said, you can tighten these depending on the size of your scabbard or sword, so it would actually tighten down and shrink this hole to make it snug in the frog. Okay, so but again, there's different sizes because there's a lot of different size swords out there. So this whole pattern is going to be making 2 of these and 2 of these, because this is going to be for a hip belt, or a belt that has 2 sword frogs, 1 on each side. Okay, so but first, like I said, I'm showing you the frogs. The belt part will come next, so I just wanted to run you through these really quick. Like I said, though, there's a whole nother tutorial that goes through these a little bit longer, so check those out. And if you're interested in just this, there's a pattern for just the frogs as well in my Etsy and on my website. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these buckles on here, riveted down and threaded through, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what those look like. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and I got the got these straps, buckled and riveted there, and then just threaded through each of those holes there and in place. So I got this one done, and I got the remaining black one done as well. What I wanted to show you next is kind of how these are going to be attached to the belt. And you kind of see some of these in place already, but they're going to have on each one of these, this one's going to have a swivel on the end, clasp swivel to attach to, and you'll see why. But to make it easier to take on and off and use in a different cosplay, if you wanted to, in a different outfit, I'm making these with snaps. Okay, so snaps here, snaps on this one, and the same thing with these. These are snaps here, and it'll have a snap on the one that goes here. But this way, if you wanted to take this off and you have a different belt, different attachment, and you wanted to use it with something else, you could. Okay, so but either way, yeah, these get the snaps, and then I'm going to work on getting the next piece is going to be the belt part with the pieces that come off of the belt and then attach to the different buckles. Okay, so I'm going to start working on that. And again, these pieces, there's the small and the large. The belt that I'm going to be making has different sizes. There's going to be a small, medium, large, extra large included in the pattern, but I'm only be doing one size for this tutorial, but it's going to be the same process. Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, before I get too far, people asking questions on the small scabbard, this piece here is going to be a 1 inch wide, and so you're going to use 1 inch buckle, and then this one is 3/4 inch wide, so this swivel and clasp is going to be a 3/4 inch clasp that you use, and a 3/4 inch buckle. Okay, as far as this is a Sigma snap, and this one over here is a line 20. I think this is like line 20. It's the smaller one. There's line 20, line 26. I can never keep them straight, but it's the smaller one out of the two. And then this right here as well, 1 inch wide, the snap here, and then a 1 inch buckle. And I'm going to have something very similar on this one as well. Okay, and I'll be right back. Hey everybody, so just continuing on with this, the dual sword harness belt. You'll see in the pattern there's a whole bunch of these strips, right? There's a shorter one here that has for the buckle. There's two of the same widths, and then a longer one that's going to have the buckle holes. Now, because there's multiple sizes and they're labeled that way, you'll notice that each of these makes a lot of noise. Wow. Each of these are just slightly longer, really. So if you ever need to you make like an in-between size between small, medium, or medium and large, or whatever, just extend, make some of these strips longer. So, but the back two, these are equal distance. So if you make this one longer, you're gonna make this one longer as well. Or the buckle end or the buckle hole end, just extend those a little bit, and you can adjust the size that way. To show you how these are put together, very simple, just rivets. Okay, so the holes in the pattern, you just put those over, and I'm using the extra small because of the width or the thickness of this belt. This is like a 2 to 3 ounce, maybe 3. It's definitely not 4, but it's like 2 to 3 ounce. But it's pretty sturdy. This is a Horween belt blank that I got from Buckle Guy. So that's where this strip came from. You'll also, I wanted to note a few things. Well, I'll start at this end. So this is this roller bar buckle. It doesn't have the other piece, and so I needed to have some type of keeper, and these little loops right here are at Tandy. So both of these, the buckle and the little loop here, are from Tandy. You'll notice that the belt width is 1.5 inches. So, you know, choose your buckle and loops wisely, you know, the right size. The other things are these circles. From what I've been told, this one was from Tandy, but what I was told by them, the Tandy store, it looks like they're not making these anymore. The largest O-ring they have is 1.5 inch. Maybe sometime in the future they might make some larger ones, or they might start making them again, but otherwise, if you want anything bigger than 1.5, you're gonna have to go to Amazon. And so I got these, and make sure when you're buying these that you're measuring, you look at the inner dimension, or the ID, inner dimension is 2 inches. So this is a 2-inch O-ring because the inner diameter, the ID, the inner diameter is 2 inches. So that's where I got this one and this one. Okay, so there are also other ones out there, like this one. This one's by a buckle guy as well, but it's a thinner ring. So I'm not sure if I like this. I like the thick rings better. Anyway, so and then at the very end of this, I just put 1/4 inch with some grommets for the buckle holes. Okay, and there's the buckles, or the buckle holes with some 1/4 inch grommets in there. I just thought it looked nice, kind of added to the aesthetic of the circles. That's why it's there. Now, how this is going to attach is with the holsters here are with some straps. Let's see if I can adjust things a little bit. So, because the sword is going to be coming out this way, you're going to want the shorter strap from here to here, and then a slightly longer strap from the center back to the smaller strap here. So it'll end up being kind of like that. But they're just straps. I'm gonna rivet them and then put some holes in them to run them through the buckles. And then this one, same, just opposite, is going on this end with that, similar to like that. So remember again, these have snaps. The buckles, both of these and the other two have snaps on them. So I'm gonna put snaps on the straps that thread through here as well. So if you ever wanted to use this belt on its own, you totally could. Or use it in conjunction with some other part of your cosplay or outfit. You have something else you want to hang off of these O-rings or off the straps, you totally can do that independent of having the holsters connected. Okay, so I just wanted to call that out before I make it, in case you're wondering, you know, am I going to be, you know, tied into making this whole thing just for this without any options? You know me, I love options, and I love being able to not multi-class really, but do more than what one thing just can do. Anyway, so I'm gonna make those straps. Remember, this is 3/4, this is a 1 inch. Same here, 3/4 and 1 inch over here. And so I'm gonna make those straps, put the snaps on them, thread them through, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the straps done like I was telling you. Here's the larger one. Here's the 1 inch, 3/4 inch. And these lengths and where you put the holes here really is going to depend on, you know, where you want the sword to land on your body. You want it higher up, lower down? Do you want it more angled? Do you want it more flat? So while I have lengths in the pattern, and you know what I've done here, these lengths and where the holes are totally up to you. Okay, so keep that in mind, that I always say you measure before you start putting these holes in, before you know this final length. Like this one, I probably didn't need this last hole, and so it's a little bit long, and I'll put this on here in a second so you can see what I mean. But this ended up probably being a little bit too long than what I need for my outfit and how it's gonna land on my body. So keep that in mind when you make these. the width and the attachment and length, holes, placements, like, is totally up to you. These are recommendations. Okay, and like I said before, these are snaps. So I have this one has a little Sigma snap, and this one has a, like I said it before, I don't remember if it's a line 20 or line 26. It's the smaller one out of the two, line 20 or line 26. It's the smaller one. So, so yeah, snaps there, so I can take these off, use the belt for something else if I want. Here, let me pause and get this on here real quick. Hold on. Okay, so this is kind of the angle that I want the swords to be at, and so that's why I, put them at this angle, and then I adjusted to put the holes there. So this one is quite far up. This is probably a little bit too long as well, just for my usage. And then there's this extra tab here that I could probably cut back a little bit, just to kind of, for aesthetic purposes. You can see, so you can see the buckles, so you can see the D-rings, just for aesthetics, really. But yeah, I think it turned out well. And I have the other one over here as well in place, also with the same hole placement. These are loud. Anyway, let me get this, and I'm going to get it on the mannequin, and maybe I can get my son to model it for me. I only have these polypropylene practice swords, and this is a katana. I know these are made, typically you wouldn't wear katanas in this type of holster. I know. Don't get mad at me for that. And you'd probably have like sabers, more like military sabers or pirate sabers, or those style of swords will go really well in here. But I'm going to use these katanas because this is what I have currently. I tried looking for some of these practice sabers that had just a simple shape, and I couldn't find any. So this is what I have. Don't get too upset. Don't get too upset if you see these while I'm wearing them, or have my son model them for me. All right. Okay, I'm going to take some pictures of these, and if you have any questions, let me know. I do also have, hold on a second. Like I showed you earlier, I do have these larger scabbards or holsters, frogs, whatever you want to call them, for larger swords. And I will make a belt similar to the other one, but with this brown leather. And you'll see those in the pictures, but it's the same process. If you want to use a thicker or wider belt, because this is beefier. So if you don't want to use the 1.5, you want to use a 2-inch thick piece of leather or wide belt, go for it. It would definitely proportionally would look good with these. And I would, same way, I use a 1-inch on this side here. I would use a 1-inch here, or like a 1 1/4, just because the size is bigger. So you want things to look proportional. You don't want to put like a 3/4 inch on the front and a really thick one on the back, or if they're both the same width, that's fine. You want it to look proportional, right? So the bigger the holster, like this, the wider the belt, the wider the holsters, the wider the D-rings and the buckles, just to kind of, everything gets bigger a little bit, right? So that's how I've approached these. I'm gonna go ahead and make a belt for this, bigger than the other one, than the black one, and then I don't think I need to show you the steps necessarily, because they're going to be the same steps. The O-rings, riveting them down, having the buckles. I need to create another buckle piece for this side, and then the straps. Okay, and they all have the snaps there. It can be the same process. So if you see that in the pictures here in a minute, don't think that I skipped a step. It's just that they're all the same steps. Okay. All right. If you do have any questions, let me know. Find me on Facebook. or Instagram, TikTok, Etsy. Ping me, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help you out, and I'd love to see your versions. Show me what you got. All right, thanks. Bye. Okay, everybody, here's the look at the larger belt that I had mentioned. Again, same O-ring here in the middle. These straps are the same width, same size. Then we have the buckle end with the same kind of buckle, keeper, and then the buckle strap side with the holes and some grommets. Again, quarter inch holes. All the same things as the black one, just a little bit bigger. And let me get the holsters on here so you can see what those look like in place. Okay, so I just have these here held in place so you can see kind of what it would look like. But yeah, the same straps. With this larger size, like I mentioned, I put 1 inch on the back, 1 inch on the front. If you want to increase those sizes, feel free. But yeah, same thing as I did with the smaller black one. I use snaps here to be able to easily and quickly put them on and off of the O-rings. Yeah, and use it for something else if I want to. But yeah, same thing. So I just have a larger size swivel clasp here onto the O-ring, and the piece here. I can buckle and show you. This piece here that attaches to this D-ring, also a snap. You can see that. So it just makes the whole thing a little bit easier to take apart, put together, store, etc. So let me put this together real quick and show you. Okay, that was pretty fast. Now, yeah, again, I just snapped them together. Snapped them together, and now they hang how I want it. But if I needed it to adjust, easily adjustable. Okay, so I'm going to take some pictures with the black one. Have my daughter wear that. Hopefully, maybe get my son to wear this one. But yeah, like I said before, this is for the larger scabbards or larger swords, and then the buckles are there to tighten this down to keep everything snug and in place. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. You can contact me on Facebook or Instagram or Etsy or TikTok or my website. You can reach me at simplegoodleather.com. I'm always available to help you out if you have any questions, and send me pics of yours. I'd love to see how yours turns out. Maybe different color, different color scheme on the buckles and the attachments, the clasps and stuff. Could make it look totally different. Anyway, all right, good luck. See you later.